For those joining, see if you can spot what scouting community you are in and add it to your screen name. So it's a two-part test. One, can you spot your scouting community number and add it to your screen name? So to change your screen name, you put the mouse over your square or click on the participants list and you can click on rename. See if you can do that.
Is there a prize?
There may or may not be a link posted in chat that shows you how to do it too.
Oh, did somebody put that?
Awesome. Thanks, Josh.
I am very technically challenged, so.
Oh, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
Okay.
I think Scott gets the grand prize for being able to change his name from Sally to Scott. I think that might be the prize tonight.
Ooh, I like it.
I got to do that quick every night.
Use Sally more often than not.
How do you do it again?
You did
How are we
it.
supposed to do this?
Okay.
Where it says BSA 53, Jill,
Yep,
click on that.
I am clicking on it and it's not doing
BSA
anything.
There's a little three
Stand for
dots
the
on your
elderly.
quarter, on your screen, on your square.
If you're seeing, her main screen and then the pictures in the right side of the computer, it'll be in the upper right corner of your picture.
Just
Once you hover over it, you'll see the word mute, and then right next to that, it'll be the dots.
and
Is
you
there
should
any
be
way
able
to
to see
expand that?
rename. And if you can't, no worries, just tell Joe Carlson what community you're in. So you
Yeah,
can,
when we go to the breakouts, you'll have a chance to pick your
Yeah.
own based on the number, or if that's not working for you, we'll
we'll
work.
assign it for you.
Where you should be. It's really great to see everybody tonight. Hope everybody's had a good week so far.
Yeah, we keep threatening with more rain. I think we need more rain. This is the first time I keep wishing for some rain.
Hey, Elizabeth,
Yes.
can you confirm that 102 is in SV5? I can't read this very
Yes,
well.
that is SV5.
Thank you.
It is a lot, and it's hard to see probably on many screens. So thank you for your
Is there
understanding.
anybody else that would like a confirmation? We can do any of that for anyone else before we get started here.
Just wanted,
I don't see this. I got view up in the top corner, right-hand corner of mine, but I don't know. I don't think that's, I must have a different screen then.
yeah, it sometimes depends on what platform you're coming on. But Jeff, what troop are you in?
64, I'd be in SB5.
Okay, so Joe will have you in that. But are you on a iPad or a regular PC?
No, I'm on an HP. I don't
Okay.
know, Windows.
So when you put your mouse over your picture of your square,
Oh, there it is.
see
Okay,
three little
never
dots,
mind.
and
Okay,
then you can hit rename and add it to your name.
okay. So I just need to leave my name on there and then add
Yeah.
okay.
Unless you want to change your name.
SB5. Okay, gotcha.
Thank you. So I know
Oh,
some
that's so-
people put
that
it in
was so-
chat.
That was so confusing.
That's
My
fair.
goodness. I tell you what.
Jeff, if I can do it, anybody can.
I didn't know you were supposed to put on your picture. I thought they were upper right-hand corner of the screen. I thought he
screen.
said, yeah, well, my screen, your screen.
Right.
We all screen.
Asking for
right?
ice cream.
Yeah, exactly. Nah.
Where did Caden go?
Downstairs. He's working on his bank statement.
Okay.
Why?
Just as long as Jeff doesn't change his name to
I'm
Sally.
just trying to
okay.
figure out what I'm doing here is all.
Okay.
Give me a second.
We'll just give it another minute. We have, looks like we have about 73 participants. That's
There we
really
go.
great.
Whoa. Okay.
Is Eric Strauss on?
Yes, I did see Eric. Yep.
Okay, Eric, I'm going to actually switch your scouting community moderating to help to go to SV5 with Beth Sveen.
Sure.
Okay, because we got coverage now for SV2, no problem. Okay. Well, why don't we get started, everyone? Got 74 participants here in our roundtable, so that is fabulous. Let me see if I can get my screen to advance. There we go. Welcome to our roundtable. This is a very important one as we are trying to make some adjustments and changes and really focus on recharging and rebuilding scouting. So as we proceed, if you have questions, please post them in the chat, or if you want to share some information with others, please go ahead and do that. Zach, have you started the recording?
Yes, we're recording.
Okay, we're recording. Okay, so this is going to be recorded. However, we're going to have 12 different breakouts today, so that will not, those separate ones will not be recorded, but all the additional slides and the scouting updates will, and they can always be found on the website with roundtables. So this is the roundtable planning team, and it is also being worked on with the new district chairs, and we're worked all together to try to provide hopefully a very helpful restart of our districts today. So I'm going to turn it over to David Spitke to do our Pledge of Allegiance, oath, law, and outdoor code. Go ahead, David.
If we could do a Scout salute for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America,
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
one nation, under God, indivisible,
Liberty and
liberty,
justice for all.
justice for all.
Okay, Scout sign, Scout oath. Scout is on my honor. I will do my best
To do my
Do my duty
God,
to God and my country.
obey
Obey
the
the
Scout
Scout
laws,
laws to help other people at all times.
keep
Keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
Scout law. Scout is
Trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind,
obedient,
careful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
and finally, the outdoor code. As an American, I will do my best to be clean in my outdoor manners,
Be careful with fire, be considerate in the outdoors,
and
be
be
conservation minded.
Two. Okay.
Great. Thank you so much, David. Okay, as we want to start, we'd like to all get on the same page by watching the restructure video that was sent out, but I think it's important, even if you've watched it before, that we all get on the same page with it and watch it now.
The district restructure is to align needed resources with the most important level of scouting, scouts, the units, and the volunteers in those units. This is a change from how we have previously been structured, but as we look to rebuild our scout units in communities where scouting has gone dark or suffered, we know that change is required in order to help all units succeed.
The pandemic has had a much greater impact on scouting than many of you might be aware of. Many packs and troops have gotten much smaller, some down to less than 10 scouts. Some units have gone away altogether. We know that scouting works better and is more fun when there is the right number of scouts and energy in the program. This new community structure we are laying out here gets units working together for the things that make sense so that we can recharge and rebuild scouting. But it also makes sure that each unit keeps its own identity that best serves the youth in their town or city.
Many of the changes we are incorporating are things that have been developing over the last several years and were sped up by the pandemic. Major changes include council-wide teams focus on developing the best approaches to help units engage in strong programming and grow in membership. Council teams also offer programming such as activities like spookery, adult leader trainings, and camp outings. The district groups will be focused on supporting units. There will be a Cub Scout district and a Scouts BSA district. Inside each district, units will be clustered by geography, allowing for a local scouting support system to be present. Strong units can help coach and support newer unit leaders in their community. Units can cluster for certain programming. This can be especially helpful for very small units.
With the scouts and scouting units at the top. And that is the focus for the support. We will have a Cub Scouts district and a Scouts BSA district. Venturing is part of the Scouts BSA for now, and Exploring is its own group. Secondly, to support the units, we will organize them into manageable groups of 5 to 9 units called Scouting Communities. The districts will mainly focus on 3 objectives: membership, programming, and funding. The membership effort will focus on recruiting new Scout families and Weeble's crossovers to Scouts BSA, along with new unit builds and rechartering. The programming effort will help the units with their annual program calendar, ideas for advancement, help with coordinating leader training, along with the other volunteer help that you see here. The funding effort will help the units get the monies they need through the popcorn sale and other fundraising efforts. As stated here, the membership, programming, and funding leads for each district will communicate and coordinate between the council teams and the districts with the community guides. However, the roundtables will continue as they have been recreated in 2020 to include all the unit leaders.
Packs and troops will be grouped generally by geography. We will begin with a starting recommendation, and then we'll work with units to adjust to their desired geographic grouping. The intent of the grouping is to have a system where units can support each other. We know scouting can be difficult in a very small pack or a very small troop, or in a unit with new adult volunteers. The community will strengthen all of our units.
The scouting community is one of the key changes in the district restructure. Each scouting community will consist of the unit leaders and the community guides from that area. They will work together to build up the local community of scouting. At first, they might need to meet more often to get organized and start the recharge and rebuild process. Then it probably would take meeting every quarter or so to provide a way of sharing ideas, working together to coordinate efforts like community service projects, and help each other out as needed. So you might be thinking, as a pack leader, how is this going to help me? With this new plan, you'll have dedicated support by the scouting community guides. These guides will help the leaders organize, probably via Zoom, to share ideas like fun Cub Scouting activities, organizing to do an advancement activity together, or a public event together that would make it more impactful. You may also want to work on a service project together. In addition, you might want to work together to do a rain gutter regatta or Pinewood Derby to make the competition more exciting. As you see from the initial list of ideas here, we can do what the Scout Law suggests: be helpful and kind, so we can make sure that scouting is strong again.
Units will be grouped together, anywhere from 5 to 9 units. We realize that many parts of our council are geographically separate from one another, so this can allow people to have a more localized experience and to be connected to others who may be nearby. Sometimes nearby might might be up to an hour though. Technology, like Zoom, can help adults connect for planning and idea sharing. In-person activities with units from the community can let scouts and adults from small units, and even the larger ones, have a more impactful experience and even make more friends in scouting.
From the troop leader perspective, the scouting community guides would be a dedicated source of help and connecting as well. With the troop leaders and their community guides, there can be a sharing of ideas, but also a more detailed discussion on things like how to do a camping or high adventure trip, with sharing contacts and the key learnings from the past trip details. Troop meeting content is always a challenge, and there could be a sharing of detailed content that helps all the rank levels in participating in the troop meeting. There are also times when the conservation projects that are done need more help than one troop can do. This would be an opportunity to coordinate that effort with the other troops in that scouting community. As you participate in public events, having more than one troop can show a stronger presence of scouting too. These are just some of the ideas that having a local scouting community in your area can help recharge and rebuild scouting.
The groupings of units will be the same for Cub Scouting and Scouts BSA. This will help both parts of the program support each other and enhance a key area of focus, the crossover of scouts from packs to troops.
The timeline is as follows. So far, the Coordinated Key 3 team has been working since November to develop the new structure, discussing what works, what doesn't work, and developing its new objectives. We came to the draft of this and are getting it to the design that you see here today. Going forward, we'll focus on communicating and discussing this restructure and defining the roles and responsibilities of the volunteers and how we will all work together. Now we will work to fill these roles and begin rolling out the plan from there. Not everything has been figured out, and we will work together to manage through these changes.
The key focus will be to make sure the pack and troop volunteers have what they need to deliver a scout program which attracts and retains youth and their families. The goal is to build a connected community of scouting throughout our council. The goal of
Joe, the audio cut out.
Thank you. I'm back now. Appreciate it. Okay. So now we are going to go into our breakouts. This is the first time we are trying this. And so, bear with, please be patient. So each of the scouting communities has a moderator. Those that are in red are the scouting community guides that have generously agreed to be a scouting guide for your scouting community. And for those that we're still working to find, we have other moderators tonight. So at this point, I just want to quickly go over what you're going to be discussing in your scouting communities and what you should be thinking of to have a productive discussion. So in the Cub Scouts, your moderator is going to review the current situation and think about what is your biggest challenge right now to really get scouting active again. And you're not going to solve everything tonight, but just state it so that we can all understand where each of the units are at. The next piece will be trying to have a recharge plan so that maybe the Scout pack, the Cub Scout pack, try to do something fun and outdoors in the next 3 months. And they'll go over, maybe do the Summertime Pack Award. But more importantly, try to plan some kind of a fun activity in your scouting community that includes all your packs something that you might be able to do together that's easy but fun, and some of the ideas here. So see if you cannot come up with an idea of a date and a plan, and try to make that happen in your scouting community. And your moderator or community guide will try to help facilitate that discussion. It'll be a half hour. In the Scouts BSA community breakouts, focus again on what the current situation is and how are you doing in terms of your planning for summer camp or high adventure trip or any service or conservation projects coming up. See the questions there in terms of how you might be able to help each other out in the next several months. Maybe there's some things that you can do to help with any training, specific leadership needs, helping scouts that maybe can't go to summer camp. So be prepared to discuss that and go around, and the moderator will keep track of that and see if you can't figure even something out within the break. So that we will then, it is 7:20. So at 7, why don't we do 7:50, and then we'll do our 10 minutes of scouting updates. So Joe, are you ready to do the breakouts?
Yeah, what's going to happen, everybody, is we'll open the breakouts and you're going to have the option to pick your own breakout. So if you would, pick that based on the scouting community that we outlined earlier. If you didn't have a chance to see that, or if you're not sure, just go ahead and stay on. Do not pick a breakout, and then we'll go ahead and assign you as well. So we're going to open those rooms. And again, those of you that would like to pick your room based on the scouting community that you're in. If you're not sure what that is, just stay on and we'll get you assigned here shortly. So we'll see everybody as a full group in a little bit.
Okay.
Do you have the option to select? Looks like people are starting to do that.
I don't. Can you put me in
Yep,
6?
we'll start to move people around. So
I don't know how to do it, so.
That's fine.
That's fine, Beth. So we're going to move Beth first to service area 5.
Right.
And Elizabeth to 6.
6, please.
Yep.
Where do you want me? This is Sarah.
Hey, Sarah. We'll get you in a moment here.
Meeting tomorrow, write up kind of what was discussed, and we'll share that with each other, and we'll go forward and how we can help each other and really establish our scouting communities. So thank you so much. So we're going to spend the last few minutes here on some scouting updates. It'll be probably a little faster than we want, but it's important. Sometimes if you just see it and hear it on the screen, you'll go to the website and get more information. So I'm going to ask each of the people speaking to just spend about a minute or so on your update, and then provide more detail by redirecting them to the website or whatever for more information. So Joe, are you doing this one?
Yep, I sure will. So Sunday afternoon.
Oops, you went out for a couple seconds. Go ahead.
Sunday afternoon, great opportunity for anyone that is here as a PAC volunteer or a Cub Scout parent, or even if you just want to know a little bit more about what's going on at a Camp Decorah, our Cub Scout pre-camp party. So join us online for a half hour of excitement, 4 p.m. You can RSVP to that email there. You can RSVP to me directly. We'll also be sending something out to anybody that's a Cub Scout parent, but join us to learn a little bit about what makes each camp unique between Cub Scout overnight camp, Enchanted Forest, Weeblo overnight camp, Minecraft, or week-long day camp, Mad Science. So it'll be a great half hour on Sunday. We did this for troops a few weeks back, and we had a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun. Any updates on the camporees? I didn't get this right before. I know there's one in Winding the.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Zach.
There's Zach. Yeah, Elias, do you want to say anything, or Tom, about Winding Trails? Is Elias on?
There I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. We're gonna have one big good time at Pine View Campgrounds up by Fort McCoy. The theme for this year's Spring Camporee is the Hangry Games, and I've got all sorts of interesting and fun activities planned for that. And we're hoping that we can get as many of our troops to come and join in the fun. I believe Zach is the registration up and active right now.
Yes, and I can shoot that out here
Okay.
right after this meeting.
Okay, shoot that out. Okay, so we got that coming. We're gonna have to ask people to kind of monitor temps about 14 days prior to it. The camporee is gonna run April 30th, May 1st, May 2nd. And we have been talking to Mr. Scott White, and if his ears are on, we've been talking about having a Weeblos crossover, and just give a chance for some of our kids that are crossing over into troops to have some recognition for their faithfulness and to stay with scouting, and also to kick off their great grand adventure as Scouts BSA.
Great.
Awesome. And then Soaring Eagle, we just finished up a planning meeting right before this. We're going to do it the next weekend, May 7, 8, 9, out at Petrick Park. And it's going to be Fortnite themed, and it should be a lot of fun. There will be a water balloon fight at the very end. So it'll be a good time. I'm excited.
Okay. So that information will get sent out. Thank you. Oops. So is there anyone here on the Beaver Day? Joe, did you want to mention this?
Peter Schaffner, would you like to
Peter?
share anything on this?
Sure, let me get unmuted. Yep, I was hoping Joel was here, but he's going to be gone. So I think we got people lined up for all of our Beaver Days events, but we can use people, obviously. We're going to have plenty of brush to pick up and clean up. And it is Saturday, the 24th. We'll have lunch ready for you. So come on out, meet down at camp, and we'll put you to work. Thanks.
Yep. Please RSVP if you're planning to come so that we can be prepared for lunch. We're happy to have youth join us that day, but if any youth are coming, we ask that they come either with a parent or with a pack or troop leader.
Great. We wanted to make sure as our volunteer and Eagle recognition happened in January, now we are launching a way to highlight volunteers or any of your activities. So there's a way to do that, and if you post it on, you can use the website to put the information in, and it'll be posted on the Gateway Scouting Facebook pages. So check that out from the homepage and take pictures, send pictures of things that you're doing this spring and summer. Carl Kramer, you want to talk about this recruiting event?
Yeah, so we're planning a recruiting event for new girls to enter scouting. It's scheduled for June 9th from 4 to 9 at Camp Decorah. And basically it's going to be just a lot of fun. And while parents are there, we're going to try to recruit girls to enter scouting. So girls 10 to 14 years old, can see a variety of fun events. So in the next several days, we're going to be sending this out to everyone on our mailing list. And we ask that please, if you know any girls, you want to put this on in your office, if you're going to the office, or anybody you could circulate this flyer to, please do so we can get a nice turnout there. It should be a good opportunity for us to recruit additional girls into the troops.
Great. Training events. Zach, will you speak to these or who?
Yeah, is Lisa on? Can she talk?
Lisa on?
Going once?
Yep, I'm here.
There she is.
Okay, Lisa, I set up a page for each one. If you want to just give a few seconds for each, I'll scroll through it for you.
Okay. First of all, we have direct leader contact training coming up this coming Monday. This is a mandatory training for all leaders that are required to do it. You can either do this online yourself, but we have set up a nice easy Zoom that if you go through it for the next 3 nights for an hour and a half on the next 3 consecutive Mondays, we will complete that training. We're trying to increase our training, direct leader contact training. We also are looking at possibly offering it in person in the fall, but COVID prevented, we'll get you updated on that.
Great.
Next training coming up will be Trainer's Edge, which is a pre-leaders to give instruction and trainings to other people. It's a method to learn how to give the appropriate training methods using the scouting guidelines. That's on Sunday, May 2nd, starting at 8:30 to 4, and it's going to be led by our National Youth Leadership Training Team. Blue training, which is the outdoor training for Cub Scouts to take Cubs on outside events and activities. And if we're talking about doing a bunch of summer, you may want to consider taking this course. It's Friday night, the 7th to Saturday, the 8th, in regards to how to be safe in scouting and what to do in the appropriate training guidelines.
Lisa,
Yes.
Lisa, do the folks taking Trainer's Edge also need to be present for the T1 portion Saturday evening?
No.
Okay, just checking.
Just the one. iTools is the required training for the training patch for the Boy Scouts in regards to their outdoor training to take Scouts on ventures. It's coming up Friday, May 7th through Sunday, May 9th at Camp Tacora. Leave No Trace training is a training in June that is required probably for a lot of the high adventures. You need to have at least one person that is Leave No Trace trained in your adventures lately. So we are offering that course, especially if you're doing boundary or high tech. You may end up having to have one person that's Leave No Trace, and that course is coming up in June on the 12th and 13th. Then once again, Scout leaders, look at your leadership team and your leader boys and look at who needs to be trained for National Youth Leadership Training. This is a training that's led by the boys for the boys, teaching them how to keep the recruit boys, how to present and how to plan for the troop meetings, how to do patrol leader council meetings, also how to plan events and what activities to do. This is an awesome event that happens June 13th through the 18th at Camp Tacora.
Are the females included now in all of these things? Yes, okay.
Yep.
Just want to make sure.
For at least the last,
jump in.
yeah, for at least the last 5 years.
Yeah. And we all want to jump in here, but I do want to jump in because within a month on May 3rd, the discount goes away. So it'll go, the price is about $30. We've got staff meeting. We've got a great staff again this year. And it's a great experience. And the information is at the top of the Gateway Area Council webpage. One click, you can get into registration. You can get the flyer. You can get contact information for John or myself. So if you've got questions, you can ask. But we're full steam ahead, and we are planning on going on June 13th. So I hope we'll see many of your boys. It's just fantastic to watch.
Girls.
Position.
Yes,
Great.
and girls, absolutely.
Yes.
And our registration is limited this year, so don't wait.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you. Kevin Corkin.
Yeah, thanks. So just wanted to hop on, promote our camp cards here. So obviously they're called camp cards, but I have gotten the question of, oh, can we use this to attend another camp outside of the counselor? Can we use this to, pay for our PAC family camp out this summer? And the answer is yes, you can use it for whatever scouting expenses you want, just like you can with popcorn sales. They're just called camp cards instead of discount cards, as a fun way to try and encourage kids to sell them to get to camp. So this is easy. I try to make it as easy as possible, so there's not a bunch of prizes and incentives. It's $10 a card. A lot of sports teams around here sell them for $20 a card. So it should be a pretty easy sell, and we think we got a lot of great deals that are all over the council. But even for some of the rural areas, everyone has a quick trip, and they most likely go to La Crosse or Clare or Madison on the weekends to do some shopping as well. So it should benefit everyone in our council, and it's our first year doing it. There's no risk to the unit. Any cards that aren't sold, you can return by June 11th or sooner. And there's no upfront costs. You just check out the cards at our office for your whole unit and distribute them to the individual scouts, or you can send your families to the office and we'll check them out to individual families as well. Or you can reach out to Zach, myself, or Joe, and we can run them out to other parts of the council too, as we see you. So they should be in here by April 15th. There's a little delay with the company we're working with, but you can register now at gatewayscouting.org /camp cards. This just helps us know how many to set aside at the office for you. And as I said, the sale will run from April 15th to June 11th. If you sell out, you can always pick up more throughout the sale.
Great. Thank you, Kevin. If anyone has questions on any of these things, please write your question in chat. And if we don't get to it even within this next few minutes to respond, we'll reply to you outside of the roundtable. So I'm going to stop sharing here. Thanks to everyone for all those updates. So Joe, are you ready for your executive minute in the polls?
Yep, absolutely. Just a quick closing minute here, and great to see 80 people on tonight connecting with each other. And I'm always amazed at what we can do in scouting, and a big part of what drives that is our collective passion for seeing great things happen to kids in our scouting program. And we obviously have got some really big changes happening right now with how we connect with each other within the council in terms of our units and transitioning into the scouting community concept. Something that everybody should know is there's been a volunteer team that's been hard at work on putting this together really for the last 6 months. So this came with a lot what could really help our scout volunteers and our scout units. So I encourage everybody to embrace that, and together we can use, again, that scouting passion and that scouting knowledge to really help scouting thrive in all of our communities. We've got a quick poll that we're going to use to close things out, but before we wrap up, a very big thank you to our roundtable planning team. Thank you to all the moderators and scouting community guides. Thank you to those that helped to put all of the content on tonight. And thank you to everybody for spending an hour with us. So we'll open the polls. Like usual, if anybody has questions or thoughts, you can stay on after the meeting is done. We can help you out individually, but once you complete the poll, feel free to enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you so much, everyone. I do notice there's not an NA option if you were in one of the other breakouts. So
Yeah, you just disregard the question for Scouts BSA if you're in Cub Scouting and vice versa.
I don't know if you can disregard it.
Can't.
Yeah,
you can.
have to answer.
we found that out before, so that if there's not an NA option, you can't submit polls. So
right.
So just put a 5 on there for us.
Well, if we put a number 1, you know we weren't there.
There we
Okay.
go. Everybody number 1.
Okay. Put a number 1.
You're killing my average, Tom.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know you were looking for an average.
That'll work. That'll work.
That
Thanks.
might be hard. But maybe in your chat, if there's anything that you find more helpful, we would appreciate any suggestions you have. So hopefully, thank you again, everyone, for your patience and connecting today.
Thank you, everybody.
I did have a question. Since Seven Rivers isn't having a camporee, are any of the troops from Seven Rivers invited to either of the other ones?
Yes.
Most definitely.
And has anybody taken up that banner or invited? 'Cause I didn't hear anything about it in our group, and then
I'll send an email out with the registration link right after this to all the troops for Winding Trails, and then once we get Soaring Eagles registration going, we'll send that one out as well.
Excellent.
Great.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you. Have a great night, Tom.
Yep.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, John.
Night.
Good night, John Boy. Good night, Zach. Good night, Ryan.
Good night, Jim Bob.
Good night, Ma.
Elias,
night,
you
Mom.
need to have one of your better accents. Come on now.
I've had a long day dealing with juvenile language, so I don't have that kind of energy.
You know, Elias, just when I think I've heard it all, you managed to keep it coming. That was really good there.
All right.
Very good.
Good night, Papa. Good night, Mommy.
Did Tom Smith already take off?
I think he did, Scott.
Bummer, man.
Bummer.
Oh.
Okay.
Maybe he'll call you.
Are you willing to be rid of my foolishness?
Never.
Never.
Well,
Never.
I wanted to get with Elias and Tom and see if we have any new updates about our camporee.
Okay.
Do you want to stay on? We can leave the Zoom.
I can leave the room open.
Oh, I will Zoom all night long.
Okay.
Elizabeth, you can stay on. Elizabeth, you can stay with us. It's not like we're discussing national security secrets or anything like that.
It's okay. I still haven't made dinner for my family. So.
Okay. You better feed them before they get hangry.
I gave them an appetizer at 5:30, but now I need to.
Now they're like ravenous wolves.
Yeah.
Do you guys want me to call Tom Smith and tell him to join back in?
Yeah, that was probably good. Right?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Joe, did you capture the poll information screen prints?
I will do that.
Okay, because those go away